For those of you struggling with Hushed River Valley on the Long Dark, this video is designed to give you a few basic things that you can do, pick up a few pieces of loot, and then get out of the region. There's two spawns that we're going to work with here. I've labeled them on the map here, Spawn 1, Spawn 2. These are the only two spawns that you'll get on Interloper. So we're going to start off with spawn number 1, and I'll show you a basic framework for how to get out of here. So first, you want to get to that location marked Cave 2 on the map. So that's going to be something that we're going to look at and get back to. First, on our way, we'll just pick up some basic materials, cattails, coal. We're going to want to turn into torches. So I'm going to speed up the camera a little bit here because it's basically just follow down Hushed River. The basic premise for both of these approaches is get to Hushed River and follow it to the end. The first spawn spawns at the top of Hushed River, the other one is just a bit above it. So we're going to want to come back here on both of these approaches to get a little bit of loot. This is Reclusive Falls. In there we're going to find some neat loot, notably some ear wraps. The only guaranteed spawn for ear wraps in the game. Then remember where this rope is. This is where spawn number 2 is going to join this path. And then we're going to walk down this river, and up on our left there's a cave where we're going to get our guaranteed matches. This is the guaranteed set of matches. And we might be able to get out of this region even quicker if we skipped this, but that would require navigating a dark cave without any source of light. So you see here we got a toque, we got some matches, nothing in the backpack, and a little bit of wood. So we're going to pause this playthrough here and go to spawn number 2. And I'll show you what it's like to get back to this same location. And remember, these are the only two spawns on Interloper, so if you know how to handle these two spawns, you can always handle Hushed River Valley. So we start overlooking these falls, and we want to turn around and go back through these two little rocks here and head down into this little river that we're going to see in just a bit. Now you can take a more direct path if you're comfortable billy goating, but I feel like this is more consistent and just a little bit easier, especially if you're newer to Hushed River Valley. Over to our left, that is where Hushed River is, and about right there is where the cave is. We're going to take this log up and then wrap around a big rock. And that's going to get us over to the rope that I showed you just a little bit ago. I'm not going to loot too much stuff. You're welcome to loot these things, pick up sticks, get some rishis, get some rose hips. Could also go through there, but I'm taking the path that is the most consistent. It gives you a very clear marker on where to go. So we're looking at that rope there, right between the trees. We're going to climb down this rope, and that's going to have us be in Hushed River, where we looked at that rope from before. Let's speed up the camera. Now we're going to turn left, and that's going to take us to the cave that we got the matches at. There always will be matches here, not always a toque. And then usually we'll get some firewood as well. This time we got some driving gloves matches and some wood. Alright, let's get back to that spawn number 1 file. And we're walking back towards that rope. So on both of these approaches, they're all the same from here on out. So there's that rope we just climbed down. We're going back to what I have labeled on the map, cave number 2 at Reclusive Falls. And this is kind of the unique loot that we're going to grab. Importantly, it has combat pants and ear wraps. So we take off our clothes right here because that prevents them from getting wet while we walk through the waterfalls. You don't have to do this, but you're probably going to get hypothermia if you don't. Since we're just grabbing one item that's very close to the entrance here, we're not going to bother putting our clothes on. Another thing I like to pick up here, there's a few sticks that helps me start a fire if we didn't get enough cedar firewood. So right around here. Then also we're going to watch the floor for some coal, because that's going to get us more torches, because we're going to have to go through a dark cave. This one we're not going to be in long, so the fire's not that important. And then here's the loot cache that we're looking for. These items are always the same. Whetstone, ear wrap, combat pants, and some crackers. Don't put them on just yet because they will get wet as we pass through the waterfall. We'll put them on right when we get outside. So next thing we're going to do after we put on our clothes is we're going to head back over to cave number 1. Once we're there, we're going to start a fire. The reason for starting the fire is, one, we're going to need torches. We could navigate the cave in the dark, but that's pretty difficult. We're going to be coming up to cave 3 after that, so we're going to make some torches. We're also going to take that opportunity to warm up. If we're warm, we're going to lose a lot less damage. While it's fine if you want to tank all the way down to 25% condition, I'd rather get out of here 75-80%. Alright, so we're going to start a fire here. I'll speed up the camera so you don't have to deal with the boring parts. So I'm making water partly to have some water, partly to pass some time so that we can add that coal that's going to speed up how fast we warm up, and then also basically we're using all of our fire resources for torches. So I'm going to be making water until I'm all the way warmed up, and then using the rest of the fire for torches. Unfortunately, I got a really good torch first pull, so I'm just going to grab a bunch of these. I'm not going to bother moving around and changing the percentage of those. And once our fire is just about out of time from pulling torches, we're going to head down towards the bottom of the river. This part's pretty simple. There's a very clear dead end where you will have to drop off pretty far to keep going down the river. So basically see the rock in the middle there. We're going to walk until we get to there and then turn right. And I'll show you, just in case you're worried, if you're going to go past this, there's a cliff. Don't go off the cliff. So we basically walked the river, got to the bottom of the river and said, nope, we're not going to go there, let's turn right, and then the cave that we're looking for is going to be just a couple steps up here on our right. Now, this is probably the most dangerous part of the trip. If you're getting out of here on day 1, it's typically not too bad because the wolf isn't spawned yet. There can be a wolf in this cave. So I'm going to be creating a new torch just so I don't have to deal with switching torches while potentially dealing with the wolf. The way you can scare off the wolf is just light a fire. So there's a number of dead ends, but basically we're going to be sticking left as much as we can. If you get a dead end, go back right and stick to the left. There will always be a guaranteed bedroll in this cave, and that's probably the number one cool thing about it. Its location, however, varies. I chose to prioritize getting out of the region quickly and just showing you where this cave is. But know that if you do search this cave, you will find a bedroll. The way to know that you're going to the right exit is you go through this ice hall. It's bright, it's big, it's beautiful. Once you pass this, we'll find a rope that we're going to have to climb up, and that means that we're going to the right exit in this cave. Here's the rope. We're going to toss our torch up so that we can keep carrying that torch with us. Don't waste a match starting a new one. And then we've reached the exit. You can check for a bedroll back here. There's usually a bedroll, a hacksaw, a few other neat pieces of stuff that is worth picking up, but for the sake of brevity of the video, I'm not going to bother. Once we get out, to our right is going to be one possible way to get out of the region. However, it requires that we have a hatchet. We don't have a hatchet, a hacksaw will not work. So we're not going to go that way. That means that we have to use this rope over here. If you happen to have a hatchet for some reason, you can go that way and it's a bit quicker. But over to our right will be a way to get to one of the signal fires over this way. The signal fires are not there, as you can see it in the back of this video. So we're going to climb down this rope to get us to the next section where we need to go. Throw a torch to the bottom because we can't carry it while climbing. Then I'll speed up the video while we go down this rope. And then one of the last obstacles we'll have to face is going to be a bear that's coming up. Basically, hug the left wall here. Try and figure out where the bear is. The bear usually does spawn. And we can see it right there in the middle of the screen. So we're going to give him a little bit of space, let him walk by. Then we're going to sneak by him on his left, our left. Next thing for us to do is to climb up this log here, and that's going to get us back up to where we need to be on the mountain. So take this log, and then there's one final thing we have to climb back up that can be easy to miss. The rest is pretty smooth sailing. It's this tree right here that's almost a 45-degree angle. Okay, maybe like a 15-degree angle.
Die if I don't warm up soon.
And then this is basically it. Once you've passed these logs, you're basically done. There's kind of one way to go. So I'm going to speed up the video and just show you where the exit is. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Hopefully it'll guide you to your first path to being able to exit Hushed River Valley. My goal with this is to be able to use this approach and then add on one or two things as I get better with the region. Maybe I can explore, if I'm lucky, one of the signal fires. Maybe I can find some more of the very useful loot in Hushed River Valley. If not, I'm no longer afraid of a Hushed River Valley spawn. No matter which spawn I get, I feel like I have an approach that A, I can get some good loot, B, I can safely get out of the region. As you can see, we're at about 80% condition. This was a good spawn, and we're going to be warm in this cave. Hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.